not an expert at all, but packing light, doubling up on your jeans is okay. Shirts, socks and underwear, nah. You will probably want to buy those. Find a Costco. Eat cheap.
You know, you have to eat when you can. Don't screw around and like wait for the perfect moment. What happens before the venue, it's always driving, and then you have to load, and then you have to kind of wait around for sound check. So if you don't manage to eat a good meal beforehand, you can really hose yourself and not eat anything except for like snacks or something. And then afterwards, you never know what's open. And it can be like a little rough trying to figure out how to eat like healthy and you know, not just get stuck on the fast food diet.
So it turns out that you really can't just not eat on tour. That was kind of my plan going into the most recent tour. I was like, I've been doing this whole intermittent fasting thing. I'm just gonna wait until like 4 or 5 p.m. to eat. But that caused some problems, especially with like water that you're not used to drinking and food you're not used to eating. And so it really does turn out you just have to buy vegetables. At least for me, that ended up being the big secret, was that if I just ate some carrots, ate some broccoli throughout the day, I was actually able to get through the day and make it to dinner where, you know, we were gonna stuff our face with pancakes, of course.
Tips and tricks that I've picked up while touring. Okay, so this, I feel like it's more of an Avienne specific one because this is more to do with makeup. So my favorite tip is to categorize everything into, like when it comes to my makeup, I categorize everything and I actually put into little Ziploc bags. So for my makeup bag, I have a Ziploc bag for brows, eyes, lips, face. And it makes things really easy in the morning because I'm usually the first one that wakes up before everyone else. So I wake up like zombie, I'm half awake. I just like turn my makeup bag upside down, but I have all these Ziplocs. So I just go step by step. So I go from like face and I have like my face Ziploc and I do my stuff and then I put everything back in the bag. And I actually still use that tip even when I travel like anywhere now.
Can I cross my legs? Is that okay with you, Karl?
No.
I'm pretty comfortable, so I'm gonna do it. Baby wipes. And lots of extra like little tank tops. I get like a 12-pack of tank tops on Amazon, and I'll just fly through those so fast on tour and take up no space. Yeah, but baby wipes. And like, you sweat as much as I do, baby wipes. The panini affected everyone, really. For us, we just released Illuminated. We played maybe 2 whole shows, and we were planning on touring, and it just kind of stopped all that dead. And I think one good thing was that just kind of we got to get into writing mode again even more. Spent a lot of time just kind of honing our skills. Yeah, I got to spend a lot of time just behind the kit and just doing things I might not have had time to otherwise, and developing better technique, which really just led to, I think, better all-around performance and songwriting in the latest album.
So the pandemic impacted us in a way because we weren't able to tour. We weren't able to see our fans and actually have that person-to-person communication and interaction. So we did a lot of our interaction online, but in a way, we grew a fan base that way. Our fan base became larger by meeting people from like all around the globe. So I think things became more global, things became more digital, and we stayed in our little COVID bubble. So we still were making content and shooting videos and still writing music, which we are going to be releasing soon.
So we had a tour pretty much fully booked out and planned that was supposed to start in like April, the year of the pandemic. And so of course that got all thrown off kilter and we weren't able to do that. We ended up using that time to make music videos, to connect with our fans, to find new ways to reach out to people. We got to do the Slay at Home Fest through Metal Injection, which introduced us to a whole new audience. That was really fantastic. But there was a lot of negatives too. We weren't able to spend as much time together, especially at first, before we figured out social distancing and all that. We were trying to figure out if we could do Zoom practices, which I don't know if anyone figured that out. Kudos to you if you did. Did not work for us. But we were able to eventually kind of nail in on writing and composing and figuring out what we were going to do once things opened back up. And so once they did, here we are.
We had a couple videos blow up on YouTube. So previously our video views were capping out at 20,000, and then all of a sudden we had some going up to 100, 300, 500, 600, and like one's close to 900,000, which is absolutely incredible. So we had a lot of people discover us for the first time during the pandemic. So in that regard, loved it. Love all the new friends, all the new fans. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for requesting the reaction videos. We appreciate it so much.
We were all pretty well practiced to tour with Illuminated by that time. So it was kind of like when you first write an album and then you record it and then you practice it a little bit and then you go on the road. It still feels pretty new. With Illuminated, since we had all of that time to really kind of shoot music videos and do stuff like the Slay at Home video, it felt like old songs to us at that point. So we really could execute those, which is great because our stage performance was just on point that whole time.
Some of my favorite songs on that album to play live were Befallen and Fiery Tongue. Just Befallen has just that driving riff, and it's just such a great way to open the set. It was wonderful. We met so many people on that album cycle.
It was fun. The reception was great. Yeah, Illuminated is such a, like we kind of meant that album to be a journey. And there's so much energy in a lot of the material that it was fun to see everyone, as we got more comfortable playing it live, just kind of really bring it to life.
Oh my gosh, it felt really good to finally tour Illuminated because I think a lot of the locations that we went to in our Illuminated tour, we revisited. So even though we traveled hours and hours away from home, we saw a lot of familiar faces, and it was just really nice to see our friends on the road again.
So we had been talking about touring Illuminated for months, years before we finally actually got to do it. The album came out and we had basically 2 months before the entire world shut down. We didn't really get a chance to play it for very many people. We played 2 fairly small shows. We had plans to tour it all over the country or all over the world if we could, and here we were 2 years into the release and hadn't even really played it live yet. So to finally get out onto the road and be able to play that album start to finish, which we did for 2 consecutive tours, was really a good feeling. It felt like the culmination of what we'd been working toward for a long time, and I think everyone was really happy to finally get to play it. And honestly, I think that we played it live better than we played it in the studio, because over those couple of years, we had all really grown as musicians. We had gotten to know each other even better. We played with each other even better. I think we all liked each other even more, and I think it really showed on stage.
I love coming home to Portland. Some really great venues like the Bossa Nova Ballroom is fantastic. But outside of there, geez, brick by brick, that place was dope. I'd love to pack that place because I think the sound system was pretty bomb there. And the Tilt 2, that was tiny, but man, I think that was one of the best sounds we've had in such a small space.
So for places that I'm really excited about, we've toured along the West Coast and we've seen a lot of familiar faces. So I'm excited to see my friends in California and Washington again.
This last tour was such a great tour. Just so many venues. Like I feel like most venues I want to go back to. Definitely the cities. Met so many awesome people. We always love playing home in Portland, but Oakland was surprised, like on a Tuesday night, packed house, so much energy, just a lot of little surprising shows like that. It's really not anywhere I wouldn't want to go back to.
So every time we've been to San Diego, it has been a fantastic time. We played at the Till 2, very small venue. We pretty much packed the place. Poor Jeremy had his back up against a door, just hoping it didn't fall open. But that was an incredible show. Really, really cool crowd. And then when we played there again on our most recent tour at the Brick by Brick, that was a very, very fun venue. We played on like a Sunday night. We didn't exactly pack it out, but I'm hoping that when we come back through, we'll be able to get a lot more people out there. Their sound system was great. But in addition to San Diego, I want to go back to Boise, because when we went to Boise, again, it was like an off night. Apparently Gojira had just played like the night before and no one was really going out to metal shows. But it was a really great venue, really great staff running the place, and I'd really like to get back there and play for some people.
My favorite tour snack, you know, we had a lot of stuff between gummies and M&Ms and mangoes, and, you know, when they get left in 100-degree weather outside, so the van's probably like 120, 130, they all don't really last that well. The gummies can melt, the mangoes go south, and M&Ms, you know, you look at them and they start melting. So choose your snacks carefully.
I do like beef jerky or nuts, you know, insert dick joke, I guess, but yeah, dick-shaped foods are the best.
This is, I feel like anyone who follows this band knows that I need gummy snacks. It can be Lifesaver gummies, it can be sour worms, it could be gummy bears. It just needs to be some sort of gelatinous corn syrup thing that I can shove down my face while driving all day.
My favorite tour snack. Oh boy, I don't snack very much on tour because of like the voice stuff. But if I do snack, I do love Gardettos. Gardettos are bomb. I love like cheesy snacks. I do like a lot of like jerky. Jerky's good. Sometimes candy. Yeah, I do fruit snacks. Just whatever's around, really.
Favorite tour snack? Well, I'm pretty big on all kinds of peanuts. Like any way you can get peanuts into me, I'm down. So, you know, honey roasted peanuts, peanut butter filled pretzels. If there's peanut butter filled pretzels in the van, they're going down. Like, it doesn't matter how many bags we've gone through. If Karl or someone else thinks it's a good idea to bring another bag into the van because it'll get us through a week or something, we're talking hours.
Everyone better answer this question the same way. Mostly me, augmented by the vampire at night, Riley.
Daddy Jeremy, Dad bought 3000. He's a flipping machine. Night shift is usually Riley, and I usually give him a lot of heartache about that because I'm like, dude, don't kill us, bro. We're gonna die, right? You awake, buddy? These kinds of things. So yeah.
So the first tour, I drove probably like 90% of it, and then Riley drove the other 10%. What we found on our second tour was I started driving, and then I started editing like our tour updates. Well, what happened there was Jeremy started driving. Jeremy's a really good driver. So Jeremy drove most of the tour during the day, and then Riley would trade off at night, and then I'd just sit here and edit. And it was nice to not have to drive. I love to drive though, which is weird, but I also like to edit video, so it's kind of fun. You know, and they're both great drivers, which is awesome. Sad to say Riley has to drive at the crazy times, and he's like, oh, I'm fine, as he's like falling asleep at the wheel. He only killed us twice, so I guess he's okay.
The driving, who does the driving in the band? Well, I can say everyone but me. So here's the thing about the tour van is that I'm not allowed to drive, not because I don't want to, but because I can't reach the pedals. So as far as who drives the most, I would say Jeremy drives the most in the day. And then once he does his whole drumming thing, and then the other guys take over. But I don't usually drive because I can't reach the pedals.
So Papa Bear Jeremy does pretty much all the driving during the day. He's a good driver. I got to give it to him. I usually do the driving at night because I'm up until like 3 a.m. just by nature. It doesn't matter how tired I am or what I've done that day. There's no getting me to sleep before 3 a.m. So that's a bonus on tour. I mean, someone has to do it. So, you know, no one ever believes me that I'm good when I say like, oh yeah, no, I can drive us home. And everyone's like, no, you can't, no, you can't. And then I drive us home, so.
How many crazy, stupid overnight drives have you done for us?
I've done at least 3 pretty crazy through the night drives. And probably the sketchiest feeling one was on this last tour when we went all the way from San Diego back up to like Bakersfield through the Grapevine and everything. That was not a fun drive. We were told that it would take about 2 hours less than it did. And then between road work and traffic, at one point we were just stopped on the freeway for like 45 straight minutes. So it ended up going a little later than we thought, but thank you to the Best Western in Bakersfield for that late checkout. You saved our lives.
When did we reach the destination?
We actually got to the Best Western at like 4:45, 5 a.m. Trying to get up and leave at 11 a.m. would not have been a good choice for us. So 1 p.m. checkout saved us.
Reaction videos are really cool. I still find it pretty amazing that people are so inspired to take time out of their day to share how they feel about our music on the platform. I understand that, you know, they have a certain kickback from it too, but I still think it's amazing that we get to, in a way, sort of help them do the thing that they like to do, which also happens to be listening to music. And then to take it a little bit further, people like the Vicar of VINTERSEA, man, the Patreon donations and stuff like that on our behalf for them to react to our video, that's really amazing. Oh, and Darcy too. She's a beast as well.
One of the coolest things that's happened has been just a flood of reaction videos. We have a couple really amazing friends and fans who have just really gone above and beyond that, really trying to get us out there. And it, you know, I remember the first time we got one, I was like, oh wow, this is so cool. It probably won't happen again. And then next thing you know, they're flooding everywhere. I'm gonna name a couple names. I'm gonna leave a few people out. I am so sorry, and it's just some of the people I chatted with this week. But Morrow, thank you so much. Nolan, thank you so much. We met some amazing people through the reaction videos that do the reaction videos. One of the bands is Wolf Hunters. They are great. They're from Canada, and they are so entertaining. And they just, I loved, whenever I see that they did one, I'm like, oh great, I can't wait. This is awesome. I gotta say, you know, can't wait to check it out. It's just, they're so positive and happy and energetic. And it's just a blast. And every time, like, oh, Avienne, oh, she sounds so good. Cracks me up. I love it.
The reaction videos have been so awesome. Oh my goodness. I think they've really blown up during the COVID period where we weren't able to really like visit the different cities that we wanted to, but with the reaction videos, it still felt like we were able to see people's reactions to our music and still enjoy it that way. And yeah, it's super cool. It's really cool to see how people enjoy our music in real time as they're watching our videos, a lot of times for the first time.
The reaction videos have just come out of nowhere as a huge surprise to all of us. Some of these videos are years old, and I didn't know that anybody was still going to go out and watch them. I guess that's the magic of YouTube, is that people can go watch things that are old to us, but new to them. And so all these reaction videos have been a huge boom to us, introduced all kinds of new people to our music, expanded our fan base across the entire world. Some of these reactions are happening in languages that none of us actually speak. They're happening in countries that none of us have ever been to, and it's a really special thing. So thank you so much to everybody who has been shouting us out in the comments of the reaction videos. It means a lot to us. We actually do watch them. It really means a lot to us. We try to go watch and react to all of them ourselves. So thank you.